the transfer window is open.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Sup, you little lengtings. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. As always, I do hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Chelsea news today, and there's lots to get into. We're going to face Giroud in the Club World Cup, LAFC. First opponents, Liam Delap's having his medical today. He is. We're looking at Jared Brantwaite. Meh. The truth behind the Victor Osimhen situation. Fichaz. Spanish publication going all that again, talking about Rafa Leao, and a little bit more on Jadon Sancho, because of course, huge story. Should he stay? Should he go? Chelsea fans divided. Thanks for joining me. We're going to get into it today. Thank you as always for your sweet love and support. I feel it. There it is. You can show that by just dropping a like on the video, subscribing if you want to, hitting the bell if you choose to. Just take a moment and listen to this message from my sponsor. What a wonderful time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. This video is brought to you by my sponsor, my partner, Surfshark. That's right, everyone uses a VPN now, and if you don't, you're a sausage. Let me tell you, Surfshark is the best VPN out there, so if you're yet to get one, now's the time, or probably upgrade to this one. Surfshark, a VPN, a virtual private network, works by moving your internet's location elsewhere, which of course, as we know, or you might not know, has a multitude of positives and opportunities. Surfshark is a really easy to use platform, and it has loads of different servers in loads of different countries. It's ruddy wicked, it's easy to use, and let me tell you why it's good. First of all, using a VPN protects your internet's identity by moving your IP address elsewhere. The baddies that want your data and they want to commit fraud, they can't find you, so you're safe. And also, a massive benefit of this is browsing in private. We all want our privacy on the internet. Thank you, Surfshark. But that's all the warm, fuzzy security stuff out of the way, doing the Cole Palmer there. I use Surfshark to unlock different media, because when you change your server location elsewhere, loads of different streaming platforms think you're over there, so they offer you the respective media library. Suddenly you have unlimited media libraries of TV shows and films and everything. It's ruddy wicked. You watching, mate, it's high time you get a VPN, or indeed upgrade to Surfshark, because you're a viewer of my channel. I can offer you this wonderful promotion. Go to surfshark.com/football for 4 months free. Use my code football on Surfshark, or go to surfshark.com/football, or even simply scan that QR code or click the link in the top of the description. Safety, privacy, a whole new world of new media. Go check out Surfshark now. Wicked. Go check it out now. Thank you, Surfshark. Click link in description, or use just my code, all that nice stuff. Alright, there's so much to get into today. Also, I just want to reference another news story I've just seen here. A lot of Ben Jacobs is all over the gaff. Credit to him, he's well informed, and he very much puts his face out there. He was on Manchester United fan channel, The United Stand, and he spoke about how Thomas Tuchel said to Liam Delap, go and play Champions League football, and this is your most likely route to be in the England first team for the World Cup. Of course, he's under 21s, but even after then, I mean, I should think he's got a good chance anyway, because I know there's Watkins and I don't know, Tony being called up, I think, silly sausage business. But Chelsea are in Champions League, Man United aren't. Of course, Man United put a lot of work into signing Liam Delap. And he did want to go back up to Manchester, from what I understood. But ultimately, reunited with Maresca, Lavia, Palmer at Chelsea, because Chelsea are playing Champions League football, and ultimately he made the right decision. He's having his medical today, by the way, on Sunday, the 1st of June. People speculated it will be early next week. But again, Monsieur Ben Jacobs is saying that he's having his medical today, and he will be a striker to be brought to the Club World Cup. And the Club World Cup, of course, a little update there. LAFC, they win a dramatic playoff, and they will be playing Chelsea in the Club World Cup. Is it the first game we play? I'm not entirely sure, but certainly one of them. And little link there because Olivier Giroud will be playing for them. That's nice, isn't it? Speaking of French stuff, PSG are good, aren't they? If we get far in the Club World Cup, apparently we could play them, which you have to say is ruddy terrifying. I reacted to their Champions League win on the second channel, Football Yannick, which is non-Chelsea stuff. If you're yet to go check it out, do consider it. Thank you for supporting that content. Just search Football Yannick. Right, let's keep the Chelsea news moving. Right. Okay. So, just to let you know, we are still looking. I'm not going to spend some time speaking about this much, but we are still looking for another striker. So say if report, it might not necessarily be in this transfer window that we are currently in now, this 10-day transfer window that is just opened. It might be one that we put on ice because we've got Delap over the line. He'll come to America, the Club World Cup. Maybe we'll sign one more, possibly a winger. Possibly, Jamie Gittins has gone a little bit quiet, but we are still looking at Gittins. The trigger word Alejandro Garnacho won't go away. But of course, there's still Nico Williams, who I still think his wages would just be too high. And we are going to react to this Rafa Leao story in just a moment. But Cy Phillips, who's well-informed Chelsea account, says Chelsea do want Jared Branthwaite, of course, the young England centre-back. I must say, personally, this Everton defender, I've got nothing against him. Clearly he's good. Man United really wanted him. Doesn't surprise me. Chelsea are looking at him a lot. And we must govern our opinions on the eye test. But I looked at his stats. I think I presented them on here on X Value, and they were pretty underwhelming. They didn't excite me. They didn't get the juices flowing. Now, that's kind of fine, whatever. If we sign him, great. But if I could choose a centre-back, like obviously Dean Howson would have been exciting because he's such a massive talent. Like his ceiling's really high. If I could choose at all, I would go for, Mark Guehi. That leadership at the back with Reece James and Levi Colwill, I think would be great. But I think there's still a chance he goes to Newcastle, but we'll see what happens. It does look like we're going to sign a centre-back. Look, lots of Chelsea fans will tell you Branthwaite is a great player and would be lucky to sign him, maybe. So let me know your thoughts on that down below. Let's move on. All right, a little bit on Give Me Sport here. Sancho could have a Man United future. Of course, he scored... transitions all over the gaff. Of course, he scored in the final. He got over double digits for assists for Chelsea. Scored a few goals. Goal in the final. A couple of winners, I think. Won some penalties. But he could still play for Ruben Amorim because he's yet to play for him. Because remember, he wanted to get the heck out of Ten Hag's situation. And then Ten Hag got sacked into this season when Jadon Sancho was already at Chelsea. It could happen. Who knows? His aim subtle digs at Man United through the campaign amidst the struggles, and they finished 15th, of course. I mean, look, Ten Hag or no Ten Hag, they are bad, Man United, aren't they? Like, they could sort themselves out. I think Amorim's oddly, like, them finishing 15th and only just, by the way, and losing to that Tottenham side. By the way, that Tottenham side's got to play that PSG side, so that is going to be some, it's going to be uploaded onto some naughty websites. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Sancho could look at Man United and think, this is better than what I've left. I don't know. I think he'll want to go back to the Bundesliga personally. Leverkusen look interested. He'd probably like a return to Borussia Dortmund. Whatever happens, he's going to have to take a radical pay cut, like at least 50% wage cut. I think if he stayed at Chelsea, because Chelsea do want to keep him, if he stayed at Chelsea, he'd have to take a 50% wage cut. If he goes back to the Bundesliga, he's going to have to take a 60% plus wage cut, because even with Chelsea's incentivized wage structure, Chelsea in the Champions League with the Champions League bonus will pay more than, non-Bayern Munich Bundesliga clubs. So there is that. We'll see what happens there. Right, we're going to end on Victor Osimhen, but let's talk about Rafa Leao. Guys, I only react to headlines. I don't create headlines. You know that. God, there's loads of ads on this, so I'm not going to share it. But this is Vichaches. I'm never going to know how to say it. Vichaches. They come out with sensational stories. I just react to headlines. I'm not seeking out this particular news outlet. This news outlet is seeking me out. It's being aggregated across loads of English media, footballing media, sports sites. And I go, oh, that sounds like a compelling headline that I can react to for my viewers. And then it's... I'm going to read you what they say. Chelsea have stepped up their interest. And by the way, we have historically, consistently been interested with Rafa Leão. That's true. Have stepped up their interest in Rafa Leão, capitalising on the Portuguese player. His desire to start a new era from Milan. Yeah, they've been poor, haven't they? Milan's urgency to generate revenue this summer transfer window. Maresca has earmarked the striker, he's a winger, as a priority for his project, and the club is already preparing a concrete push to sign him. They just say it so matter of fact, like, this is truth. I mean, it could be true, but like, is it? The Rossoneri's financial situation, exacerbated by their absence from European competition next season, has opened the door to significant exits, and Leão tops the list, of course, of players whom the club could obtain a significant fee. True, although the Portuguese player is contracted until 2028, Milan are aware that keeping him could be unsustainable if a convincing offer comes along. Chelsea he obviously would want to leave because they're not good anymore and whatever. Leão, for his part, is reportedly willing to move on after his... I think he speaks English as well. In a season which, well, all Portuguese people speak English, apparently. Despite not reaching his best, he showed glimpses of his talent with his 12 goals and 13 assists. Sounds pretty good to me, as for a winger. His profile fits what Maresca is looking for. Speed, balance on the wing, and ability to link up in the opposition's half. And then, of course, Jadon Sancho could be going yada, yada, yada. Rafa Leão is awesome. Even if his numbers aren't awesome all the time, I know what many of you are going to say. His work rate, yada, yada, yada. And in the wake of that amazing PSG victory where they demonstrated a huge togetherness, a huge work rate, he could do it. I mean, he's got to do it if he comes to Chelsea. Everyone's got to work hard for Maresca. You got to work hard in the Premier League. I like Rafa Leão's profile. I think Noni Madueke in some ways is built like a sort of B-Tech Rafa Leão. Like, they're both tall and quite strong wingers. Leão has got Galactico quality. He has, he starts up top for Portugal's national team. I say this about Pedro Neto. Like, out of all these amazing talents, they are starters for the national team that has a sort of plethora of great talent. Again, it's the same old story, guys. If we can find a way to sign Leão, I think the transfer fee wouldn't be crazy, but I think ultimately it's wages. It's just, if he wants he's 25, so he turns 26 in 9 days, at the end of this transfer window. It's almost like poetic, isn't it? He's being linked to Barcelona and Arsenal as well, and all sorts of stuff. Everyone's talking about him. But Vichaches is saying Chelsea. The truth is, we have always been interested in Rafa Leão as a winger. If he joins Chelsea, of course, it would be very exciting. I mean, I was very excited when we signed Joao Felix both times, so I'm not going to pretend like this is like the obvious solution to all our issues. But he obviously moonwalks into our starting lineup as a left winger, especially if he's like, right, I'm going to work hard for you, gaffer, and I'm going to show you what I can do with my star quality. And the fact how he's not like, he's big and strong, I know that's really reductive. He's big and strong, so he can play in the Premier League. But maybe there's a bit of that. Let me know your thoughts down below. All right, next story coming from Football Transfers, Osimhen. Your Man United and Chelsea moves, unlikely, of course. A reminder, I think he would be the perfect profile for Chelsea. Chelsea have signed Liam Delap, and I think we're going to sign maybe someone like an Hugo Ekitike, and utilize all these different options up top, and Maresca won't be like, oh god, all my strikers are injured, and then Nkunku isn't a striker. Maresca will be like, I have Delap, I have probably Jackson staying, and I have Ekiti, I have strikers. And whoever's in form, pushing the others, you can start for the big games or whichever is more important. You know, fight amongst yourselves, develop amongst yourselves. But like many Chelsea fans, I love Osimhen. You know, he scored loads of goals in Turkey. Not that that's a reason for a Chelsea to sign a player, but he just looks good, doesn't he? He looks right, like he'd fit. But is he worth ruining the whole dressing room's mood for him getting paid the most? And yes, he is obviously sick. And yes, he won the Scudetto, and he won the Turkish league. It's not like, I mean, I do think he'd be worth breaking the wage structure for, but not massively. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like he's been a relentless winner and, you know, like we signed Mbappe or something, although we'd never be able to pay Mbappe's wages. Or someone who's just consistently scoring insane amounts of goals and winning trophies, then everyone in the changing room goes, okay. But Osimhen's a tricky one. Indeed, this has been echoed by the aforementioned Ben Jacobs. Despite Osimhen's reported preference for a move for the Premier League, I guess because he wants to be in, you know, he's egotistical in the good way, I think, as in like the self-belief. I like his arrogance, and I like that. I don't think it's toxic. I think it's empowering. That's why I really think he's quite Chelsea. And yeah, I can understand why, in theory, when I come to the Premier League, he probably thinks he'd do well. And I think he'd do well in the Premier League. I think he's made for the Prem. And I think he would go to Man United as well, by the way, because it's this massive club, despite them being naff or whatever. I genuinely think he would. Sources are downplaying any genuine interest from Manchester United or Chelsea. Ben Jacobs has said this: if anything is to move, Osimhen to Saudi, specifically Al Hilal, is going to be very quick. If the door shuts on the 10th of June, this small initial transfer window, when the mini window closes, then maybe there is an opportunity for others. I'm not aware of much between Manchester United and Osimhen that's active at this point. I'm told it's more Juventus, possibly PSG, and Saudi. I mean, I'm surprised Juventus. I mean, I've seen him operate in Serie A, but they need a lot of money. I suppose they do. They paid Cristiano Ronaldo insane wages, and I don't know what their finances are like now, but yeah, in PSG, Qatari owned. Although, we just watched PSG win the Champions League with a false 9. He is very much a true 9, Osimhen. I mean, you know, they had Kolo Muani who's gone. They've got Gonzalo Ramos who comes on for like 5 minutes at the end when they're 3 or 4 and up. The false 9, Luis Enrique front 3 is perfect. Like, why would you put in a true 9 and mess everything up? Yeah, and he says, yeah, no to Chelsea and Manchester United. It's a tricky one. It really, really is. Yeah, it's tricky, but it's simple. Because if he wants 200k a week net or after tax, he needs to be paid like best part of £400,000 a week. I know people might go, oh, we paid Sterling 300k a week and we paid Lukaku 350k a week. It was a different time. It was before PSR properly rules were employed. And I don't want to pay a Lukaku 350k a week. I do want to pay a striker that. Do you know what I mean? I want them to fit in. And like, you know, I've said it before. I'll say it once, probably not for the last time. But, you know, you got Mikel saying he wants to play for Chelsea. Well, if you want to play for Chelsea, like play for, you know, the tuppence that is £200,000 per week. See if you can survive on it somehow. Do you know what I mean? Do you really want to play for Chelsea, or do you want to play for a lot of money, which is fine if you think, you know, you think you're worth it and that's what you want. You just want the money. You're totally allowed that. But, you know, don't be like, I really want to play for Chelsea because I want to play for Chelsea. And I would play for Chelsea for free, mate. So it depends how much you want to play. Do you know what I mean? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Please leave them down in the comment section below. Now you're at the end of the video. If you're yet to check it out, do check out Surfshark. I literally use that VPN every day. You can too. Link in the top of the description, or my code. I think it's for football on Surfshark. Click the link in the description, or go back and scan the QR code at the beginning of the video in the ad. All right, take care of yourselves. Peace.